Welcome to Bucket of Chum, the shark movie podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bucket of Chum, the shark movie podcast. And this is our very first episode. I'm Steve Coates, your host, and today we're going to talk about Two-Headed Shark Attack. It's come from 2012, brought to us by The Asylum, which, if you continue to listen, you're going to become very familiar with a lot of their work. So this movie... All right, so I guess the appeal of this movie to some people would be, you got bikini babes, buff dudes, and Christopher O'Connell, Jerry O'Connell's brother. Yeah, that's something else. Now, with a lot of these movies, the acting is it's not top notch, especially with Carmen Electra in this movie. Thankfully, she doesn't show up too much, but I have to say, out of all of them in this movie, she is probably the worst. Just not great at all. But yeah, luckily we don't have to deal with her too much. Anyways, let's just dive into the plot of this. So we started off and we're in the ocean. We got two wakeboarders going here, and then we got this shark, two-headed shark, chase them in the water. It jumps out of the water, bites them both at the same time, and we actually have a pretty decent practical effect shark right at the beginning, mixed in with the CGI. I actually would have liked to have seen this practical effect a little bit more because it actually doesn't look horrible compared to a lot of the CGI that you see in these movies. But, I mean, it is what it is. And then we got to the Sea King. It's a boat. Bunch of kids on there from college going on a field trip. I guess they're taking some fucking semester at sea course for some reason. And we start with Carmen Electra just unnecessarily modeling on the boat, just twirling her hair around, looking at the sea. Why we need that, I don't know. I don't think we did. I guess eye candy, but whatever. And then we kind of go inside the ship and we're introduced to a lot of the annoying fucking college kids that are in this thing, including one of my least favorite characters in this fucking movie, Cole. Picture an Abercrombie and Finch model and a bigger douchebag, and that's Cole. He's fucking lifting weights on the boat. He's going around everybody. Oh yeah, check out my muscles. Oh, fucking fist bump, dude. Yeah, a real fucking asshole. But spoiler alert, he eventually dies, so it's okay. Then we get and these college kids are all just wearing like fucking bikinis and shirtless dudes, like not even on the deck of the boat, and they're trying to learn about how to find longitude, latitude, or some shit, but they're just sitting inside the boat. So it makes no fucking sense. But I mean, let's be real here. We're not exactly here for the plot all the time, so that's all right. It's fine. So everyone's on this fucking boat, and then we just get a bunch of chicks out on the deck sunbathing, because when you're trying to learn at sea, you got to sunbathe. And then we got Cole showing off his muscles, like, gotta feed the machine. Oh, yeah, and then people are making fun of them. Oh yeah, you can see your dick getting smaller because you're obsessed with your fucking smoothies and shit. And yeah. Get ready of that. That's all Cole does for this movie, is talk about how attracted he is to everybody on this ship and how awesome he is. But he's really not. So, yeah. And so they're going on this boat. They hit a fucking shark in the middle of the water. And instead of just stopping the boat, they try to move the shark out of the way while it's still fucking moving. And then guess what? It gets caught in the propellers. Whoa, what a fucking shock when you don't move the goddamn boat out of the way. So I don't know, they did this to themselves. The boat gets fucked up, and then they're like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And then we get some people on the boat. Listen, a lot of these kids are really fucking stupid. These characters are just awful. One of them is like, oh, what's that thing? Clearly pointing to a fucking island, like in case you've never seen one before. Then we get the nerdy guy telling, "Oh, it's actually an atoll." Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. It's land. Your boat sinking. All right. So they're like, the captain, played by, believe Christopher O'Connell. Let's double check that. Make sure you guys know who he is. He's fucking Jerry O'Connell's brother from Sliders. Actually, I think he even played his brother in Sliders. Come to think of it. Oh, sorry, Charlie O'Connell. He plays the fucking professor. So he goes to his one of his shipmates there, this blonde girl, and it's like, all right, what's the plan? What can we do here? It's like, oh yeah, we gotta ferry all the kids to the fucking atoll, and then I'm gonna fix the ship by welding it. Okay, whoop de fucking do. So we get the kids going to the fucking island. Oh yeah, then we got this really one of the dumbest characters. This girl and Cole are the dumbest people in this movie. Lindsay. She points, "Oh, thank God, it's civilization," and she points to a fucking teepee on this island, which literally looks like somebody put 5 sticks together. And then the professor's like, "Oh yeah, I think it might be abandoned." Yeah, you fucking think? Jesus. Anyways, yeah. So they go to the island, and then Carmen Electra's character is like, "I'm gonna stay on the boat." Great. I'm assuming they probably couldn't afford to have her there for too many days, so that's probably it. And then we get some gratuitous scenes of her sunbathing, not helping in any way, shape, or form, while the other girl goes into the water and is welding, if you want to call it that. She's waving the welding stick around frantically, or just it's just not welding, and I don't think she even looked up what welding looks like. But anyways, the shark finds her in the water, fucking rips her to shreds. The CGI was not terrible. Okay, it's terrible, but it wasn't. I've seen worse. I was expecting worse, coming from this type of movie, and especially from the asylum. But actually, even later on in the movie, the CGI is okay in some parts. It's actually pretty fucking tolerable. But anyways, so these guys go on the island. The professor's walking them around. They walk around a giant hole, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And spoiler alert: the island's gonna end up fucking sinking at some point. And like, I guess that was our hint or whatever. So then they all split up looking for fucking scrap metal and shit. And we we got the one guy and 2 girls going off. They find a beach at one point, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." And it's like this big dramatic and fancy shot, as if these guys haven't been at a semester at sea for I don't even know how long. But like, this can't be the first fucking beach that they've seen, and they're just so impressed by it. And then the guy starts going in the water. He's like, "Okay, who's getting nude first?" And then they start lifting their fucking tops off, go in the water, start to have like an impromptu fucking threesome for some reason. Like, whatever. Um, and then while the 3 of them are all together, the 2 chicks are making out, then fucking shark comes in and bites the 2 chicks at the same time because it's got 2 heads. And they start squirting fucking blood out of their mouth. And he's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And they're also in like 2.5 feet of fucking water. But somehow they still can't see this ginormous fucking shark. But whatever. It doesn't matter. They die. So then we, they're going along. Oh yeah, Brooke Hogan is also in this, who's the daughter of wrestler Hulk Hogan. I can't tell if she's a bad actor or if the writing's just so bad it makes her look bad, but either way, her and this other chick are walking around and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Oh, and then Brooke goes into her backstory of like, "Oh, a shark swam around me once, and now I've been scared of water, and now I'm doing a semester at sea." Yeah, okay, character development, I guess. Then they go back, meet with the professor, and they're like, "Oh, we only went halfway." So the professor's like, "Oh, okay, well, let's go this way." As in, like, yeah, let's continue to go the rest of the fucking way to see if we can find what we need. I guess they're looking for like scrap metal or some shit to fix the boat. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so they're searching the island, and then they find 2 boats, which They seemed really excited when they found the boats, but there was no real reason for them to be excited because they weren't looking for boats, and there's nothing they could use on these boats to fix their bigger fucking boat. Anyways, fucking Brooke Hogan comes in and is like, "Oh, we gotta tune these up. Let's get these going." And so she starts working on the fucking boats with the nerdy guy. I think is Paul is his name. It really the character's name don't really fucking matter. So they start getting in on this, and then fucking Cole comes in, and after they get them working, he's like, "Oh yeah, I can fucking pull this with one pull. Look at me, oh, God, he is so fucking irritating. I cannot stand him. He survives most of the movie, unfortunately. Poor choice, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, they're searching around. Oh, and then this Lindsay character finds a fucking gun in this one of the abandoned cabins that's on the island, and doesn't say anything to anybody. Just puts it in her knapsack, as you do when you find a gun. Which doesn't even make sense for her character because at the beginning she was so concerned about like getting fucking good grades, and then she just finds a gun and it's like, oh yeah, a gun. Put that in my pocket. So they get these boats working, and they start driving around on the water for some reason. And Cole is like, "Hey, Brooke Hogan, you want to fucking race?" And she's like, "Oh, what do we win?" She's like, "Oh, we'll figure that out later." Fuck, I hate him so much. So, anyways, they start fucking racing these boats, and then of course, the shark is chasing them in the water, chasing Cole's boat because his boat's bigger and has a louder motor, so it's going after him. And fucking after Cole figures this out, he just jumps in the water. He just leaves the boat with two other people inside, and somehow he survives. The shark goes after the boat, fucking takes it out. Fucking Cole is fine. The other boat comes and rescues him, starts dragging him through the fucking water for all that's fucking worth. So yeah, then Brooke Hogan's character confronts Cole once they get back to the atoll, and kind of slaps the shit out of him, which he rightfully fucking deserves. But it was pretty satisfying to just see him get slapped in the face because he really fucking deserved it. But yeah, so they get back. Yeah, and then so some earthquakes start hitting the fucking island. The professor is hurt at one point. He goes back to the boat to get help. Oh yes, because Carmen Electra is his wife, and I guess she's a doctor, which uh, totally fucking unbelievable. But what the fuck are you gonna do? So they go back to the boat, and then it's at this point that they realize the girl who was welding the fucking hull is gone and missing. The two helpers on the boat are like, "Oh, well, she's been under there a long time. She must be running out of air." Whatever. Anyways, they get back to the boat. The fucking shark starts going after the boat. So then Carmen Electra and the other guys fucking go back to the island, and then they realize all the kids are in danger. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? Realizing that the hull hasn't been fixed, and then they're like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do?" And then Brooke Hogan's like, "Oh, I can weld. My dad works with metal, because that's the only requirement you need for welding is your dad works with metal." So for some reason, her and fucking Cole are the ones to go to the Sea King and try and fix this fucking boat. And so she goes in the water, and Cole's like, "Oh, we don't have much time here, so you got to hurry up." And so he's on the fucking wheel, and then he's talking to himself. He's like, "Don't look back, man. Don't look back." So he drives the fucking boat away. He leaves Laura in the water and just fucks off. But of course, the shark hears this, not happy. He goes after Cole, and this is where Cole finally fucking dies. And it's just great because I fucking hated him this entire fucking movie. So it was just great to see him eat it. Um, and so then Laura gets back to the island. She gets back before the boat sinks, actually. And then fucking professor there is like, "Oh, well, did you fix the hull?" And it's like, what difference does it make? Cole's gone. He's not coming back. Who cares if the hull's fucking fixed or not? Like, he's fucked. So yeah, that's when he dies, and yeah, it was great. I liked it. So anyways, they're on the island, and then the earthquakes start getting a little bit bigger. Uh, Paul comes up with a plan to put like a fucking generator in the water with a net to confuse the shark. Actually, I think he does that while Laura is in the water, uh, trying to fix the boat, so they're distracting the shark. Anyways, the shark figures it out. It doesn't work. The two helpers on the boat, they don't run away with everybody else. They kind of just sit on the edge, and then the camera shakes and they leap into the water, insinuating that the earthquake threw them into the water. It didn't, but you get it. You get the point. It's fine. They get eaten immediately. They get fucked right up. And yeah, so that's when all of them are like, oh my god, we got to get off this island. So they're all running away. Two girls go off on their own in a different direction when everybody's running from this fucking earthquake. And they get to a dock and they're like, oh, finally, we're safe. Yep, we're safe. So safe. And then the shark jumps out of the water and fucking eats them. What else were you fucking expecting here? And then at one point, the professor and his wife are running behind the other students, and then there's a big earthquake, and the ground opens up slightly to the right with a ton of room on the left hand side to get around. They're like, oh no, you guys go on without us. Just leave us. So then these two fucks run to a different part of the island. Then there's a shot that even Michael Bay would be so proud of. Low camera angle, twirling around the couple as this wave is coming to engulf them. And in this wave, of course, we get our two-headed shark coming right towards them. And they die. The wave comes, shark eats them, they die. And as the island's sinking, or as it's implied that the island is sinking, the rest of the kids are thrown into the water. Clearly jumping up into fucking like 3 feet of water, which they established earlier when fucking Laura was driving Cole back, dragging him in the water. They're like, oh, it's shallow water, we're safe here now, which doesn't make any fucking sense because earlier with the 3 kids having a fucking threesome, they were in like 3.5 feet of water and the shark got to them, no fucking problem. But whatever, plot, I guess. What are you gonna do? So yeah, they jump in the water, and then they're like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? They come up with some stupid ass plan. They have a barrel of gasoline that they found earlier. It's floating in the water, and this fucking barrel has like it's literally a piece of cardboard spray painted black and then just like fucking glued to the top of this barrel. I guess they couldn't afford a piece of metal. Like that really would have broke the budget on this one. And so one of the girls is like, okay, hold on, I'm coming up with the plan. Oh, I have it. Give me your shirt. So Paul takes his fucking shirt off, wrings it out. This is what they're going to use as a fuse. She pulls out a Zippo lighter and his wet ass shirt, and this is what they're going to use to blow up this fucking gas can. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. And then they're like, oh, but how are we going to lure the shark? And they're like, well, luring the shark's the easy part. We just need bait. So fucking Brooke cuts her hand open to get blood in the water. I mean, the shark's been chasing them around without any of this before, but whatever. I guess she's making an important sacrifice or some shit. And this is where we get actually another close-up of the practical effect, which I really wish they would have used more because it actually wasn't horrible. They didn't show it a lot, and when they did show it, the camera was very shaky. Because it's a fake-looking fucking shark. But I mean, it's still compared to a lot of these movies, it was good. I liked it. It was I'd say it's something positive about this. So, anyways, fucking Laura Brooke Hogan is fighting this thing while the other two are trying to light a wet T-shirt. And then it gets the other girl, the one trying to light the fucking fuse. She successfully lights the fuse, but she does get eaten. And then the fucking shark, one of the heads bites this barrel and fucking explodes somehow. Again, it doesn't matter. It's just fucking plot. It blows up one head, but the other head survives while this shark is bleeding profusely into the fucking water. So then fucking Paul and Laura, aka Brooke Hogan, find the one of the boats that they were fucking racing in earlier. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna use this as a weapon." And Paul's like, "No, it's our only chance out of here." And she's like, "There's more than one way to use it." Starts the boat up, fucking jumps off of it. Shark bites the propeller, and the whole thing fucking explodes. So I guess the moral of that story is, don't bite boat motors because they just explode for reasons. And so then our two-headed shark is dead. And so then they swim to what's left of this atoll. And this fucking CGI helicopter comes in. And it's not even the fact that it's CGI, but it's like a fucking military Apache like helicopter flying in to save them, which is just completely nonsensical. But like they literally just went into like the library on their special effects, like helicopter. Yeah, fuck, close enough. Is it a Coast Guard one? No, it's military. Whatever, it's fine. And then we roll credits, and that's it. That's the basic gist of that movie. It's hard to recommend or not recommend any of these movies because I mean they're for a very specific person. But I would say this one's actually a little bit more watchable than some other ones. So if you wanted to like get your friend in, like show them what kind of movies you're into, and this is the kind of shit you're into, this would be a good one to start off at because you got a little bit of practical effects, you got a little bit of gore. I mean, the story's stupid. They're all pretty dumb in most of these movies. But yeah, it's a good place to start. And I mean, I've definitely seen worse movies from the Asylum before. Yeah, so that is Two-Headed Shark Attack from 2012. And tune in next week, and I'm going to dive into something else. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make you wait for it. So tune in next week. And you know what? Thanks for listening to my first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully we just get more crazy from here on in. All right. Enjoy, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.